Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the SFC interviews. Here with Craig Dobson today. So, first of all, how are you, Craig? How's things been?
Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on your show. It's good to see you. Personally, I've been well. Keeping well, just trying to keep fit and healthy through the tough year that we've all been having, and just keeping my head down really.
And of course, there's plenty to talk about in your 2 years at Boro as well. It was a short stint. I say a short stint. We've had ones on that have had a lot less time at the club than what you have, but it was a very successful stint as well in regards to winning the FA Trophy, and even just before you leaving the club, we were flying high and top of the league, I believe, as well.
Okay, yeah, it was a long time ago, but an absolute amazing time, I'd say, in terms of the short football career that I had. Just that time was very special for myself. Just being there around that group of players, that management, the banter and stuff like that, was a really good time. And then, the fans and stuff, when we was there, always got behind the team in that nice enclosed stadium. So yeah, it was a good time. Good time in my career.
And so what was it about Stevenage that kind of attracted you to sign for the football club at the very beginning?
I think I was kind of like floating around non-league at the time, and the main goal was to start trying to progress and get back up the leagues and try and get into that. I think it was the conference at the time. Was it called now the National League? Now I think it's called.
National League. Yeah.
So it was just about trying to progress and be around, better players, better quality of players, and a better standard of football. So that was the main goal at that particular time. And then, once I got there, it was everything I expected. Really good times.
And of course, we've got some comments in there as well. Hi to Michael and also to Josh as well. Got Josh leaving a comment there saying, love the celebrations at Wembley. Well, we've got a bit to get through before we get on to Wembley, but it's certainly one worth sticking around for. So in regards to the manager that brought you in, Mark Stimson as well, what was he like to play under?
Stimo, yeah, what a top man. He was a character. Like you'll never get like another Stimo. He's one of those characters where, he never had no favourites as such. It was more, if he needed to put an arm around you when he needed to, he could, and when he needs to give you a bollocking, he would give you a bollocking. So he was top man. Like you could always knock on his door, talk to him, and if he thought you weren't doing well, he'd give you a kick up the arse as well. So good man, very good man, good person to have met in my time.
And of course, there was quite a very good squad there as well. Of course, yourself, and of course on that left side was Mitchell, and then up top with Steve Morrison as well. So, what was it like to obviously play alongside Morrow? We'll get on to Mitch in a little while as well, of course. With Morrow in particular, yeah. Yeah,
rest in peace, Mitchell Cole. What a lovely lad. Great player too, in terms of, Morrison. It was a pleasure to play with. In terms of, he had a bit of arrogance about him, but for me, I love that. Like, I secretly love that about him. Even though, like, sometimes you'd think, he could be a bit of an arrogant one. He had that confidence about him that he'd pull you out of a game and score a goal out of nowhere and just be like, yes, Morrow, another one. Bang a header in from like outside the edge of the box with a header. Like, who does things like that?
Yeah,
the geezer was prolific. He was prolific at a certain time. He's just a finisher. He's a true goal scorer. So playing around players like him, George Boyd, for me, Adam Miller, great player on the balls, central midfield, and he's another influential person. That
have you brought any cars off Millsy yet, or is that something you got to wait and do?
I nearly bought one off of him, but I don't think I couldn't park. My credit check weren't good enough, apparently.
Okay.
So I spoke to him for a while. I should get in touch with him. Top man he is. He would always give me a kick up the arse when I need it as well, because they always used to be like, "Get back, Dolo. He's great going forward, mate, but get back as well." So, players like him, there's so many to mention. Daryl McMahon, I think he's at the manager now of Dagenham and Redbridge.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Top player, and boys, the likes of Bradley Johnson, who I know came in, done superbly well, but they was more on the end of the career coming there.
Yeah, with the loans, there was quite a few that are coming on loan, wasn't there? Tommy Smith as well, who's at Colchester now.
Yeah, Tommy Smith. I think I vaguely remember him. Then I had the main man behind me, Barry Fuller.
Yeah.
I used to love being behind, in front of him because he's a dogger, good on the ball, always put a tackle in when he needed to. And, he's just another one of the boys that got stuck in with the banter as well, If you couldn't take the banter at Stevenage, woo, there was some banter flying around that training ground on certain days.
Who was the forefront of the banter then? Who was the main sort of person who would start it all off?
There's like a little groups, but it'd always start from people like Stuart Lewis and Adam Miller. And they'd crack on. They'd get onto someone for the day. It could be like Alan Julian, the goalkeeper. It could be even me.
Actually, I've spoke to Jules, and Jules, was it Stuart Lewis or I can't remember who it was. There was one time in training he's told me about where he's come in and all of the fingers are cut out of his gloves.
Yeah, see, little things like that.
Yeah,
little things like that. So it was all in good spirit, really. To be fair, so.
And of course, we said about Steve Morrison there as well. We will touch on Mitchell Cole now a bit as well. And, rest in peace to Mitchell, of course, a fantastic player and a really nice guy as well. I remember meeting him a couple of times in the bar and stuff after the games. And he always had time for the fans. He was always one to chat. And it's great that obviously Keith, the kit man, and some other people at the club are, doing that annual Mitchell Cole game as well every single year at the moment.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear that they do that for him. He had a lovely family as well. I think he had 3 kids at the time, and he was just a very calm. I found him to have a very calm aura about him at times, and some of the boys would get on him sometimes about being a little bit slow and that on certain things. But he was top man. Like it would always be me and him behind in the running pre-season to start.
Yeah.
And we'd be at the back. The 2 quickest wingers would be at the back of the long distance running. But we'd pull each other along. We'd be like, come on, Mitch, come on. We'll keep going. And we eventually got better at it. Because once you start building that lung capacity, we did start getting a little bit better at the long distance. So it wasn't our favourite, though.
That's all right. I'm sure you've had other drills that you liked. Probably a lot more skillful drills as well than with the upbringing that you had. Yeah.
Short and sharp. 10 yards, me and Mitchell Cole in training. 10 yards there and back, we could do it.
You could do that all right, yeah?
otherwise it was head loss.
But, of course, you made your debut in a game against Altrincham, which we narrowly lost that day. And George Boyd was involved in that game. And also Ronnie Henry as well. Of course, Ronnie Henry's just recently had his testimonial last season with a football club. And he's gone and surpassed 500 appearances now. So that's fantastic for Ronnie to go on, and of course he was the captain of the side that won the trophy as well, wasn't he?
Is he still at Stevenage, yeah, Ronnie?
Ronnie's working with the under-18s now, as well as doing some stuff with Billericay, captain of them as well. But he's still involved with the 18s. Yeah.
Yeah, what a legend Ronnie was. Like, he was definitely good banter. He could lose his head sometimes as well, but that was always a good laugh. But Ronnie, good player. And it's quite surprising with Ronnie because he wasn't the tallest. Like, you had boys like Luke Oliver and stuff like that. Yeah. Tall lads. And like Ronnie would just be at the back, like just about a bit taller than me, I think. And I'm only like 5'7".
Luke Oliver was 6'7" one year, I believe, something like that.
Yeah. But Ronnie was good on the ball. There's so many people to mention, like the likes of Mark Beard. Who else? There's loads of boys there.
Mm-hmm. And we touched on Ronnie there. So tell us a little bit about this trophy campaign as well then. Of course, it started off with Merthyr Tydfil with a 7-0 victory, and that was the game that George Boyd scored 4 in. And I would have been at that game, normally, but we were actually in Dubai. We were trying to get back from Dubai, but
he's living that high life, yeah?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, you're living that life,
But no, we were away at that time, and obviously George Boyd got 4 that day, and that was his final game before moving to Peterborough, wasn't it? So.
Okay. Yes. I think it was Merthyr Tydfil rings a bell. Did I score in that game?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, do you know what I would really love one day to get because this generation is so lucky. They got all their goals and their history like that they can tuck away in their scrapbooks. Do you know what I mean? I always see people posting up there. But it'd be nice to try and get some of the goals from that season and just some of the games back. That would be nice. But yeah, I thought so. 7-0.
Some game, that one as well. I remember seeing the highlights, and when I saw George Boyd obviously move on just about a week or two later, I was super gutted to miss out, because obviously I was there all the way through him, coming through the academy and seeing him getting to the first team and stuff, and then literally missing his last game. It was a hard one to take.
Yeah, Boyd is different class. Like in training, pull off some nice little, that little chop where you just sit people down on their ass. He was about that life. He could do that. Wasn't the quickest, in terms of speed, but he knew what he's doing. His vision and stuff like that before he's even got the ball. He always knew his next move and what he wanted to do with it with that left foot, and he was good. He was gonna go far. So.
And people ask the players, did they have any regrets or anything? That's my regret, is not seeing Boyd's last game.
Yeah. Who was that? Who was it against?
The Merthyr Tydfil game.
Oh, that was his last game. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so long ago. Like my memory. I've done a few epic trips in Ibiza since that.
Okay. Yeah.
Since the Stevenage days. I'm trying to remember all these things. It's not easy.
That's all right, buddy. But so let's touch on, obviously Ronnie was captain as well. He was around. Jason Goodliff was there. That's another one as well.
Yeah, Jason Goodliff. I remember him. Centre half. Very helpful guy for the youngsters when we first came in. Would always give you a bit of advice and stuff like that. What's he doing with himself now, Jason? He was good.
He's is he assistant manager or manager of Sutton?
Okay, nice. They're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing well in the conference now. Yeah. I spoke to him not too long ago as well. But so you scored your first goal for the club against Stafford. So actually, you didn't score against Merthyr. That's something I got wrong there. But that was one. That was the first. That was the.
Guys, mate. You're feeding me all the lies. You're making me feel good. You scored against this team.
I thought you did, but no. It's just that it was Boyd who got 4. I don't know who the rest of them were, but. To be honest, this one was a lot better anyway. This was the 35-yarder. I don't know if you remember much about that against Stafford. It was one. It was a proper good goal. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I mean. You need to try and get me these clips, Mike. I know you got the power. I need to have one of those reminiscing days. I don't want to be one of them footballers that just don't let it go. Do you know what I mean? And just let it go, mate. They're playing all their old clips. To have it to myself and have a look.
Yeah.
Find them for me. So yeah, it sounds like a good goal. I remember scoring at Stafford, but 35 yards.
I'll see if I can find it.
I don't think I was known for 35 yarders, but I know I still.
I'll see which ones I can find. Jordan's put a comment in there as well, saying, "Who was your best friend at Stevenage? Who was your sort of person you would hang around with a lot at the club?"
I don't really know about best friend. I'm trying to think who was in my car schools and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so hard to remember, but I was always in and around the group having banter with people like Millsy and Danny Potter, and they'd be bantering me, and I'll be taking. You're not got to know how to take it on the chin. If you can't take banter around them boys, honestly, you'd crumble. You wouldn't get nowhere in that environment. Like even with the gaffer at the time, Stimo, he based it a lot around that team spirit and banter. But we knew once we was on that pitch what ability everybody had to make things that they could happen. I'm so shocked that we didn't go on to actually achieve more with that team. It was a very, very good time. Very good time, very good era.
And of course, what we got on here? Yeah, so we've got to touch on this game. This is the one game, bar the FA Trophy final, that really stands out for not just me but all Stevenage fans, and it's the Woking game, the 94th minute winner against Woking. Yes. Tell us about that a little bit, and of course scoring the winner against a big rival. Yeah,
I do remember that one. I think it was just like the rivalry that was built up around the time of those two teams. I kind of thrive off that sort of stuff. I love it. I like even when I used to play for Crystal Palace as an academy player, if we had played Millwall, I'd love it. I think that's the sort of rivalry there. So I don't know, just that last minute, just thinking get in the box and just try and get anything on it, and it just went on my head. And I scored, and we won the game 3-2. I think it was. 3-2.
Yeah, it was 3-2, and then you literally, I remember the celebration as well, just coming straight over to the East Terrace, and just it was a great day. And any time beating Woking is a great day, but that one is up there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think I went on to play for Woking for a little bit.
Yeah,
Played for
We don't talk about them.
Fair enough.
I think you played a dual registration at Barnet as well, but we don't touch on them either.
Yeah, a little bit. After I suffered a lot of injuries going down the leagues and stuff, it ended up just being curtains after the injury I got at MK Dons, it was a sad way to go into it, but
yeah,
I'm not really one to dwell on things, but you just, when they was coming one after the other, then I tore my ACL. I think I was on loan from Wickham to Kettering at the time, and then I tore my ACL.
That's right. Yeah,
that was it. I said, let me try and look at something else in terms of career path, and yeah, it was a sad day that day, but I was going down the leagues from there anyway after a lot of injuries. So
we'll talk about happier times now, but the FA Trophy final anyway as well. When, of course, what was that like? Obviously, we were 2-0 down against Kidderminster. James Constable's got a brace, and then it all kind of turns on its head. Mitchell gets a goal, and you come on and you get man of the match, and you've been on the pitch for about half an hour. So
it was an emotional time for me. That whole week, that whole period, just because the gaffer told me the team that I was going to be left out, and I played quite a lot of games that season.
Yeah,
and he basically left me out and said, I'm going to start Steve Guppy. And I was gutted. I got home and I was proper upset, and I just thought, let me just get on with training this week, and I kind of knew the deal. So when I come on, it was just a thing of, let me try and make something happen. So that was it, really. But it was an emotional week because I really wanted to start that game. So
it's a great goal as well. That's one goal I'm sure you watch over and over. That's one you can find easy enough on YouTube and things like that. And it's a great through ball when you just slide it past the keeper. It's a lovely finish.
Yeah, I always get banter about it from my friends. They're like, "Cool, did Craig score at Wembley? Did he?" Love that one.
It's a great.
It's always something to tell my little girl when she's older. So,
yeah, absolutely, of course, and grandkids later in life and things like that. Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
But of course, what were the kind of words from Stimo at half time to get you motivated? Of course, we're 2-0 down. What's he coming out and saying? How's he getting you up for the second half?
I remember it quite well because he came up to me and after he'd given the boys a team talk and about how to get back into the game, I remember him come up to me and say, "You're going to get on today."
Yeah.
He put his arm around me and said, "You're going to get on today." And I thought, okay, cool. But it was more of a, boys, we can still get in this. If you go back out there, attack them and get onto them, you can still get back into it. So that was the team talk, really.
Yeah.
And then the buzz, the feeling of that FA Trophy final, because it was the first one as well.
Exactly, yeah.
The first ever final to be held at Wembley. I think the buzz of the place, it was good atmosphere. So it was nice to get on. And
when Morrow put that one into the back of the net at the very end as well, 89 minutes, it's fantastic. And of course, walking up the steps at Wembley as well, I'm sure that's a moment that sort of stays with you, yeah. Yeah,
definitely. When he's knocked that one in at the end, everyone's just gone mental. It was a good feeling, especially coming from 2-0 down. It makes it even more sweet of a win.
Yeah.
I need to get into Stevenage because someone sent me a video the other day. There's a tribute on the wall.
There is. Yeah, in the bar. Yeah.
I need to go and see that because that's a good little bit of history there for the time we won that. So yeah, really good times.
And of course, that's great for I was there at Wembley as well. That was a fantastic occasion, and you know what our Stevenage fans are like. We believe if we're 4-0 down, let alone 2-0. So yeah, definitely. The fans were great that day. All the support. I can imagine they was thinking, "Oh, we're going to end up getting done over here 3-4-0 when the first two went in." I was a little bit upset because I had all my family there, and I think they all thought I was going to be playing as well. Okay.
I didn't really tell them till the day
last minute. Yeah.
And stuff, so
yeah,
it was good to have my family there amongst all the fans that day. It was good.
And then there's a couple of other games that we're going to touch on in the first season as well. The one that really stands out again is the Forest Green game. We were 3-0 down, and then we went on to get up 4-3 as well. And then they got a last-minute goal. And the fourth goal, I think after the fourth goal went in, I'm sure Stimo jumped on top of some hoardings or something like that, on top of one of these barriers. Was this at Forest Green? Yeah. It was 4-0. Yeah. I slightly remember that game as well. I remember that game slightly in my head, I think. So that's a couple of good comebacks there as well. So what else have we got on here? Yeah, we touched on Mitchell Cole as well. during your second season, you scored quite a few goals in that time. You scored 3 and 5 in one part of it, and also I think you scored 4 and 3 in another part of it as well. Of course, that was the season where you ended up moving on to MK Dons in the end. So just tell us a little bit about that season, and of course the move coming about as well, and how it all sort of, how it all panned out, and
I think it was a knock-on effect once again, just from the manager at the time. He just kept saying to me, and the boys as well, my teammates, just say, Craig, try and get at the back post when the ball's coming. Try, like, say, if you can even get a tap in, they all count. So when you're racking up a few goals as well, people start to notice your name on the team sheet, and it's always nice to score a goal. But when the guys are getting the win, when we're getting the win for the team, it feels a lot better. Like you scoring a goal and then the team losing 4-1. It's not a nice feeling in that changing room after. Do you see what I'm saying? So
absolutely, yeah. And the start of that season, we lost the first game, but then we went like 9 or 10 unbeaten, and I think we kept 8 clean sheets in that as well. So
I remember like a good run of games with that side, and I think they brought the TV in at the time, didn't they?
Yeah, Setanta was it, or
they started a few games. I think that gave the boys a lift as well. The games are on the TV now. You can start throwing out celebrations and all that. So that gave the boys a boost. But there was, like I say, there was a lot of ability in that side to go on a run like that.
Now, what else have we got on there now? I've had a few questions come through as well from other people, which I'll touch on shortly. But so let's have a look. So when Mark Stimpson left, and Peter Taylor was brought in, what were the sort of main differences between those two as coaches or managers?
Oh, that's a big. I feel like there's a big difference there between those two. Like with Peter Taylor's experience, he's more. I don't think the boys really liked it at the time. It was a lot of direct, throw the ball in from a throw in, you touch it, you put that in the corner, you chase it, and I suppose it did have its place in football in a certain time, but they're just very different. He liked things more direct. Stimo would like you to get the ball down and play. I'm not saying Peter Taylor didn't say get the ball down and play, but Peter Taylor was more about set pieces, line up, get all the set pieces on the wall for the corners, and that was the difference really. Stimo was more about getting the ball down and playing, and Peter Taylor had his way of more direct stuff.
And did you sort of players feed much into that buzz as well? Of course, Peter Taylor coming in, big international manager. He's coming into Stevenage, who everyone sort of knows as a lower-ended team in the conference, really, or not a football league club anyway. Did you sort of feed much into the buzz about Peter Taylor coming around, or did you just kind of focus and get on with your job?
I think we did at first. Everyone was buzzing, and like Peter Taylor, the guy's got some credentials. You know what I mean? I got on quite well with him, to be fair. But once the training started, there was a few little gripes from certain boys, like not really having this, and not really having this type of training, and that sort of stuff. But I can't really remember. How well did we do under him? Like, can you remember?
I think we did all right, to be honest. I know you were there till the January, and then that's when you moved to MK was the January, and we were then okay. I think the last few games that you played in were all wins or draws. Like we were unbeaten in 6 or 7. So yeah,
fair enough. Yeah.
And then Jordan says, "Are you still playing at the moment, or sort of what are you up to these days as well?" Yeah.
No, I don't. After I've done my ACL, I kind of just come away from the football. I didn't even really watch football for a few years. I've just started getting back into it in the last couple of years, watching it, supporting my team again, Arsenal.
Yeah,
I like watching a lot of Premier League games, and I watch a lot of football abroad now. Like the French League One.
Okay, yeah.
Watch those boys like Mbappe and those guys, and Barcelona, Messi, and those sort of guys. I like to watch that sort of football, but I came away from it a lot, to be fair, mate. I don't really play much. My thing more now is just like fitness and strength, and it's mad because I always say if I knew now. Back then, what I know now as a personal trainer, I would have been. I think I would have been an even better player because I would have been a lot stronger. I would have known how to train myself in terms of strength and conditioning and stuff like that. But that's how.
We were just saying in regards to remaining in physical shape and things like that, which you can see that you do. And the mentality as well of players. You know, how important is that side of it? The sort of the mentality and the mental health sort of aspect of it as well for players.
Yeah, it's massive. The mental health side of thing is really, really big. You know, you see boys at Man City. I think a young lad committed suicide not too long ago after getting released. Mental health is a massive factor in the football environment, and you know,
It
by keeping.
happened with Stevenage, didn't it? With Michael Felicitas.
Yeah. Oh, what? He committed suicide?
Yeah, because he was on Love Island, remember? And then after that, he took his own life. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I know a few lads that know that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really sad, man. And he used to play for Colchester, right?
Yeah, I think so as well. But he was
Yeah.
coming through the academy at Stevenage, and he played in some of the other games.
Yeah.
He played in a couple of games in like League Cup, etc., and a few league games. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be physically and mentally strong. Like I remember Mark Stimpson saying to me once in a meeting, and all the boys, he said, you have to be as strong as this table. Like literally, he was just whacking the table. That's how strong you have to be in terms of your mental prowess around the game. So, yeah.
All right. And then what else have we got on here? So let's have a look. We touched on about Mark Simpson there, which of course was when you moved to MK Dons. What was your bond like with the Stevenage fans as well, and the relationship there? And how much were the fans a factor in obviously you staying around until January when other players had moved on a little bit earlier as well?
Yeah, the fans were a massive part of it. I used to enjoy that buzz, especially if you had a good game of going in the bar and meeting the fans. Weren't so good if you hadn't had a good game. I'd walk in the bar like that. Don't want no one to see me.
Ducking away from a few punches, like yeah.
If you've had a good win, it was always nice to go in there. But with the fans, win or lose, they was always behind the team, and it was a very good, close knit family club. You know, it's always nice to go in there with your family for a drink in the bar after. So yeah, nice.
And of course, the club are doing that at the moment. Of course, the last year has been very big in regards to the community as well, and the sort of food deliveries and helplines with the coronavirus, and that just epitomises Stevenage, doesn't it? As well, it's the club sort of, and yeah, it's how the club's always been. Yeah,
that's good to hear. Obviously, where I'm away from that, I'm not too aware of everything that goes on there. But to hear that people are still pulling together, helping each other within the times that we're in, it's really nice to hear
that. So what else have we got on here now? There's a couple more. So when let's have a look here. Yeah. So did you follow the club's rise up the football league as well? Of course, when you left. I think it was 2008. It was about 2-3 years later that the club started to really push on and go up through the conference and League Two and into League One.
Yeah, no. When I came away from football, I kind of just come away from it totally. Like, you get so distraught about injuries and stuff like that, and how your career's just gone through, like from there to nothing, and I just come away from it. But I'd always see like the games, and I'd be like, "Oh, Stevenage in Wembley," and I'll be like, "I know him," and it's nice. It's always nice to see a few boys that you know doing really well and pushing on. It's always nice. And like even now, I think like, I'm 37 now, so there's boys out there still playing, still grafting in the game in a semi-pro game, and I just think to myself, like, you know, more props to them, because I couldn't do it going on these cold, windy nights, semi-pro. I don't even know what leagues. Conference South still playing. I think they've been stopped.
Yeah, they've just stopped fairly recently. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty sad for the conference, but yeah, you know, some boys are still out there, still playing, still going strong, which is.
And even the conference itself, the league, the conference league is a mess this season because Bury want to try and get back in there. I think. I can't remember who it is. The team bottom of the league have only played like 15 games. All their games have been called off, and they're not playing anymore. Like,
yeah, it sounds like chaos. It sounds like chaos. Like I saw one of my old managers that I used to play for at Lewis, and when I played for Farnborough, Steve King, his name.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with him the other day, and I was like, wow, even he's still in the game. He's managing someone Dartford, I think, and he was just saying, he was just talking about. I don't think in the National League they can even get relegated or something, can they? So can someone get relegated?
I think that's what I'm saying. Like the team that's bottom has only played like 15 games.
Yeah. What is this due to? Just like money and coronavirus?
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all their players all their players and staff are furloughed. Yeah.
We had a stable. When I was playing for Stevenage, the conference was quite stable those times, which was quite lucky. So it's looking a bit bleak at the moment for lower league football, non-league football. But they'll bounce back. I heard there's loans getting given out, £10 million loans here and there.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps to fire those smaller clubs back. The fans come back in, start feeding, because you can't. Grassroots football is something people can't forget. That's where a major stars are born. Like James Vardy's and those boys, they're playing Premier League now. So it's a big part of it.
That's right, and I was just saying that I think it's because all their players and staff are furloughed, which is why they can't play. Like they're just refusing to play until it's all sorted out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
can't remember what club it is, but
it's not easy to survive. It's not easy to survive on that furlough money, I tell you. So I'm sure the boys will want to be getting on the field for starters because that's what they love. They want to play football, and also to get paid what they want to be getting paid. They want to get things back up and running. So,
but it means that as it stands, Bury are going to possibly be able to get back into the conference. They're trying to get. I think they're just being brought out again now, and they're trying to push. I think they're only allowed to go a league or two below where they finished, and of course that was League Two where they dropped out. But they're trying to push in for an extra league so they're only going to go. Rather than going into like the Conference South or Conference North, they'll go straight into the conference. Is what they're trying to aim for.
Who, Bury? What league they're in now? 2?
No, they went bust, didn't they?
Oh yeah, Bury. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bury. They're wiped.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary on them. They tried to start like an AFC Wimbledon sort of thing.
That's what they are doing, and they're trying to put themselves in the main conference for next season. Start out again. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to them, man. Good luck. That's the fan power. That's fan power right there, So.
I know there's a few Bury fans that I used to talk to and that I know a bit, and they were devastated when the club obviously folded. And it'd be interesting to see whether they can get into the conference and what happens from there.
Why not? AFC Wimbledon have done it.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Not a feeder club. What was it?
Oh, what is it? Yeah, I know what you're saying. Obviously, AFC Wimbledon and
there's a name for it.
There's loads of those clubs now that are going around, like AFC Liverpool, FC United, and Manchester.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be done. It just takes a lot of commitment, and props to the guys that actually start it up, the guys that take time out of their family lives to dedicate to football. Because I saw the documentary and it's hard. Some of these guys have got their own jobs, their own families, and they're literally taking meetings, and the dedication is real to do that. So,
yeah, for sure. So let's bring it back into Stevenage a little bit. And what have you made about, made of Alex Ravel and the job that he's doing? Have you seen much of that? And because since Alex Ravel has come in, this is his first managerial job. He's got Dean Wilkins alongside him as well now. And since Christmas, the club, were right down towards the bottom end of the table. Almost got relegated last season as well.
I've been keeping an eye on the results. I'm not too sure I've heard of Alex Ravel. See, I'm a person. If I see their face, I'll be like, no.
The old Rotherham player. The old Rotherham player that scored at Wembley from like 45 yards. 45 yards. Yeah?
Yes, I know him. Yeah. Oh, he's the gaffer at Stevenage now,
Yeah.
All right. I've heard of Dean Wilkins as well. Remind me of who...
That's Ray Wilkins' brother.
Oh, okay.
So he's been at Brighton, been at Southampton, teams like that.
I've been looking at the results. They're creeping back up League 2, right?
Mid-table now. Yeah.
Beat Carlisle the other day. What was it?
3-1. Yeah.
3-1. Yeah. See, I'm watching. I'm still looking out for the team. I'm still looking out for the boys, hoping they can push up there. So.
And they've done that since Christmas. They've really pushed on up to mid-table now, and in a good run of form. I think they conceded the first goal in, what was it? I can't even remember how many games. 6 or 7 games the last time out, and I've still won. Like, I'm good winning run of form at the moment. Unbeaten form. And pushing up. Yeah, like we're pretty much, touch wood, safe from relegation. So.
That's good to hear. What about who's the chairman? Phil Wallace still about?
Yeah, Phil's still chairman. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, big up Phil. He's still there doing his bit. Yeah. Oh man, it's good stuff.
But so the club are virtually safe from relegation now. So what we got on here? So away from football, I've got to bring this in as well. You were a contestant on the £1 million drop.
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. And I think I remember vaguely seeing the show. So what was more pressure, appearing on that or playing at Wembley?
I'd say appearing on that.
Yeah.
I'd say appearing. Yeah, it's life-changing money when you see £1 million in front of you. It's like cash in front of you, and then you get your mate who's just gone and been a bit greedy on the last question where we could have
That's
just
right. Yeah, and
we
you
could have
pretty much
split the
lost
money.
everything. You lost it all, didn't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He literally just jumped in front of me, took all the money that I'd put on the correct answer, and he just shifted it across to the wrong answer, and we lost it all. But
is he still your mate? Have you forgiven him for that? Or
no, we haven't spoken. We haven't spoken since then, really. But we touched base on like Instagram and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
I was just going to say, have you forgiven him for that then, or are you still kind of a little bit bitter about that?
Nah, he still owes me 250 grand. Minimum.
But of course, before you signed for Stevenage as well, you were quite big into sort of freestyle as well, freestyle football, and you had the DVD as well, didn't you? That was there.
Yeah, different generation then, so it wasn't all. You know how you see all the freestylers now? These guys are a different level at it. When I started it, I always say I originated that stuff. I had a night freestyle, and it was all like, you know, it was original then. Now it's just like these boys took it to a next level. There's competitions. There's people that do it for a living. Like you got the F2 freestylers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I just had to make sure that the generation I grew up with football, it weren't really about that. Like now it's different. The younger boys coming through, I would have thrived in this generation of football. Like smaller player, quick, skillful. Anyone touches you, you're getting a free kick. There's VAR and all that rubbish involved. Like, my generation, my first pro was at like Cheltenham Town. If you go and nutmeg one of the old school boys, they're coming from behind you, smacking you in your back and saying, "You do that to me again, you little." And you know that's the generation I'm growing up in. So that kind of toughened you up, sort of thing. But
So who would you say? What kind of player, like in the modern day, would you say you were like? Would you say you were like maybe a Jack Grealish, or who would you say?
I'm not sure. Like I look at people like Jude Sterling. Is it Jude Sterling? No, Raheem Sterling. I said Jude
Raheem Sterling. Yeah, Jude played at Stevenage. Yeah.
He played. I was at MK Dons with him. Funniest guy ever. No.
I love Jude as well. Jude and the long throws.
Raheem Sterling. Like, you know, nippy on the wing, in and out. That's probably I'd try and compare myself more like to that sort of player.
Raheem Sterling. That's a good shout as well. Yeah. But yeah, Jude played for Boro for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's funniest guy. One of the funniest guys I've ever met in football. That same banter we had at Stevenage. When I've gone to MK Dons, Jesus, it even went up again another level. Like around those sort of boys, Keith Andrews, Alan Navarro, Jude Sterling. Oh man, it was just like it's lucky that I'd learnt that from Stevenage.
Otherwise, to bring through,
you go into an environment like that, you'd crumble again. So.
And I've spoke to Jude as well about his time at Stevenage, and yeah, I remember him. He's the long throw specialist. If anyone, you know, all Stevenage fans he's the long throw specialist that we've had at the club. I think he can throw the ball from like 40 yards or whatever it was. It would reach the opposition penalty area. So
yeah, raw talent he was. People would look at him and think maybe not the best on the in terms of how they look at him technically, but he was a raw talent. He'd get his tackles in, win the ball. And he was, you know, good. He was actually a good player on the ball with his feet. He was actually quite good. Yeah,
he was very technically good. Yeah, he was. Yeah. I remember from his time at Stevenage, he always did very well playing at right back there. Yeah. So let's have a look. What have we got on here now? But we touched on the freestyling side of it. There isn't a lot more to get through, really. So we've had a question come through, and it's in regards to the end of season awards with you and Damien Batt and the singing contest when you were singing "Stand By Me." It's not really a question. I was sort of just told to bring that up. I don't know what he really wanted from that. Maybe just talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
They probably caught me on the karaoke, doing a bit of karaoke every now and again, and then we'd bring it onto the team bus, and all the boys would be like, "Dobbo, sing that song for me." Like we'd be coming back from like Gateshead away, and next thing, that whole bus is singing "Stand By Me." So that's the sort of spirit we used to have, and I used to like being a part of all of that. So yeah,
I think at the end of
originates from there.
And then at the end of the season, it was like Damien Batt and you doing just kind of singing together pretty much and competing in some like little bit of a competition between the pair of you. Yeah.
Damien Batt, what's he up to now? He was a good lad. He's a good man.
Don't know, to be honest. Damien, I'll have to check and let you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
probably the only one I'm not too sure about. All the rest I know, yeah.
yeah.
But so, you said that you're an Arsenal fan as well. Something that me and you also have in common. I do follow Arsenal a little bit. And
Mhm.
who were your inspirations growing up, sort of, in football, maybe from Arsenal or, Thierry Henry or anyone like that? Or
Mine was actually Ian Wright and Kevin
Ian
Campbell.
Wright.
Used to have,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
have, and then my main idol from there was Freddie Ljungberg and Mark Overmars.
Oh, wow. Two exceptional players, or four exceptional
Yeah,
players, actually. And
and then we had
Kevin,
Patrick Vieira Petit in the middle. Those boys. That's when football was football. Yeah,
yeah.
like you used to look forward to Vieira versus Roy Keane, and I used to love football then.
Oh, for sure. I used to enjoy watching that as well as much as going to the Broadway away or
Yeah,
the away games. I used to enjoy watching those games when it's Vieira against Roy Keane or Paul Scholes
exactly. Because
against
at the level,
Petit.
at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
level now,
yeah,
you're looking at
yeah,
those boys were earning good money, but now like the money's ridiculous. Football is just a business now. Like it was a
Ruud van
business.
Nistelrooy against Martin Keown. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was a business back then, but these guys really had rivalries. Now you've got players that are not the greatest of players, but it's all moved with the times. And you got a player that's probably back in that day worth 2 million. He's now worth 60, 70 million in this
Yeah.
generation, just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
entertainment and stuff like that. So it's a different generation. Social media's come in and all that. So
And what do you make?
we
Like,
could,
go on.
sorry, no, I was just saying we could never have had a social media account like as a professional footballer in my day. Do you see what I mean? Like you can see the players now after a game, they got their phone on the pitch doing like
Selfies.
dancing.
And some of them are doing it for Twitch and stuff as well, like Petty.
TikTok the works.
Yeah.
It's a different generation.
I was going to say that. What do you make of that sort of social media side of it as well? And the players, some players have come out and said they've got quite a bit of stick from being on there after games, and is that something you'd steer clear of if you were still playing?
Do you know what? It's a double-edged sword for me because it has its advantages and disadvantages. Like the advantages are they're probably helping a lot of young lads out there to stay in contact and make them feel a part of their journey. But at the same time, on the professional football side of things, it can take it away, especially if your team's just been beat 4-0. And next thing you're seeing one of your pros on social media like taking selfies on a night out or whatever. So it's a double-edged sword. I think the pros this day, especially young boys, have to be educated on social media, especially and how to control themselves around it. Because if it was me, I'd probably have got myself in a lot of trouble in this day and age on that social media stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But it's good for other things as well. I'm sure you use it for your work and stuff at the moment. I'm sure you use it for that, and it helps you to kind of get in contact with people.
Media, use it for work, like personal training and just little life bits. You just show what you want, what people can show. Instagram is all a lot of people. It's a lie. Do you know what I mean? A lot of it's a lie, and you just take it for what it is. Don't take it too serious.
All right, fair enough. So we've only got one or two more questions, really, and so there was one time that you were called up to Jamaica as well for your country. Did you? I was trying to find out through Wikipedia, and it's saying there was a game against Republic of Ireland, and they seem to think that through Wikipedia that you managed to get on. So did you actually get on, or were you just an unused sub in that one?
No, I played. I got on. I was only 19 at the time. I was playing for Cheltenham Town under Bobby Gould, and then somebody approached me to come and join the Jamaican squad because they was coming to England to play in a tournament. It was called the Unity Cup at Charlton Athletics Ground.
Okay.
So I've joined up with the squad in training, done really well in training, and the manager was like, "You're in the squad for the game at the weekend versus Republic of Ireland." Next thing, I was like, I come on I think it was last 10 minutes, it might be 15 minutes, I'm not sure. But I remember the first hit I got was a whack from John O'Shea from Man United.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He'd gone straight through the back of me. I've flung me into a corner post. The corner post has snapped, and I was just
wow.
Welcome to international football.
This is national football. Yeah.
Clinton Morrison was out there as well for Ireland. I used to clean his boots at Crystal Palace, so I remember thinking, "Whoa, I'm on the same pitch now as the guy who I used to clean his boots at the time." So that was a nice honour to represent Jamaica because I knew I was never going to play for England and stuff. So
fair enough. And they're playing tonight. They're playing Guyana at 11. I think Tonight, I think it
USA.
is, yeah. Is it
USA.
Guyana tonight?
I thought it was playing USA.
Or maybe it's USA and then Guyana, yeah. Either way, yeah.
Yeah. So I was around a lot of those boys, Marlon King, Jermaine Johnson from Sheffield Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
Dion Burton at the time. So it was good to be around that sort of level of player and experience that as well. So it was good.
And we've got maybe one or two more questions. So the Mitchell Cole game as well down here at Stevenage, the 7-4, where all the West Ham boys came down. You were involved in that as well, weren't you? You come down and played in that one?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did come on for a little bit. Yeah, I just wanted to be part of that cause. I think that was one of the first things they done for him. So I just wanted to make sure I was there for that first one that they done. Just to show my respects.
And that's great as well to get all the West Ham boys there. Obviously, Joe helped to get the likes of Mark Noble, Andy Carroll, James Collins, loads of there's quite a few, 5 or 6 other West Ham boys there, weren't there as well? Yeah.
Yeah, changing room was full of a few faces that day. I remember, and that was a really nice turnout for the lad and for his family and stuff. I remember that day. It's good.
All right, and then that's going to wrap it up. Actually, to be honest, I think that was the last one that we were going to cover. So thank you very much for joining and taking some time out as well. And obviously we've only got about 15 minutes. I'm going to go and watch this England game and see if they can put 12 past San Marino now. But yeah.
Yeah, 10-0 or something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Right,
cheers, mate. Thank you.
See you now. All right, bye.
Nice one. Cheers, Craig.
See ya.
Bye, mate.